Hello everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, I am Molly and I do book content here on YouTube. Today I am doing a tag that has been, I was tagged in it quite a long time ago now. I don't know how long, but quite a while. But I thought I knew I'd get to it eventually, and today is the day. So, I am doing the kindness book tag. I was tagged in this by Lucy from Lucy Chronicles. Sorry it took me so long, Lucy. I got there. I don't know who the original creator is. It could be Lucy. It's been that long, I don't know or remember. So I apologise about that. But yeah, I was tagged in this by Lucy, and so yeah, I'm just going to get straight into it because we have 7 questions and then 2 that are talking about booktubers or tagging people. So, let's get straight into it. Although I see that last one is also booktubers, but anyway, I digress. So, let's just get straight into this, because I have food that'll be here soon, so I'd like to be done before it gets here. Question 1 is, how do you practice kindness in your day-to-day life? And I don't think too much about it personally, because I find if I think too much about it, I worry that my intentions get warped, and instead of trying to just be a model of Jesus and to, be loving and kind to people for that reason, not for my own ego, I try not to think too much about it, so I don't know if I do much compared to what the world would say in terms of kindness, but I try and be kind all the time to everyone I'm around. Sometimes that's acts of service, like my mum loves cups of tea, so I am one of the people who make her tea, cups of tea, so there's that. Or, a lot of it's to do with my mum because she's disabled, so mum can do some things, but our kitchen is tiny, so mum isn't able to do as much as she used to because she literally can't get into the kitchen in her wheelchair. Ridiculous, but there we go. The kitchen, not mum. So yeah. So me and my siblings, and my mum's PAs or carers is the most common term. Mum normally uses PA though. Kind of do that instead for her. Sometimes mum does some if she's able to, but she's not able to that much. So a lot of my day-to-day kindnesses, you could say, are kind of specific to my mum, but obviously I try to be kind to everyone. That includes my siblings, my mum's PAs, random people I see around, other family members, stuff like that. So it does, I try to be kind all the time. Not perfect, that's living in a sinful world and being full of sin for you, but personally, but definitely making tea is probably the main one because I do that quite a lot, along with my siblings and stuff. Question 2, what is the kindest thing that has happened to you on booktube? And I don't want to, I don't know, but also I don't want to say, nothing has been, I don't even know what the kindest thing could be. Everything that is kind that's happened to me because of booktube is the kindest thing, because I don't necessarily, it sounds worse than it actually is. I don't expect that, but which sounds really bad. It sounds a bit, depressy sort of thing. I don't mean it like that. So I'm trying to think. There's been several things. I've had, gifts of books from people. I was gifted a Bible by one of our fellow booktubers. I've been invited to co-host a few different readathons the past year and a bit. I've won giveaways, which isn't necessarily specific to me, if you know what I mean. but you know, it's still something I don't necessarily expect. So there's that. I mean, there's all sorts of things, and even just comments on my videos, you know, especially from regulars. I love that. That's why I kind of like the small community bit, because you're more likely to be able to build relationships with the people who are leaving comments, and you know, you leaving comments on other people's videos and then replying to you, stuff like that. Although I do have to say, I am terrible at replying to things. I know that there are comments that I've commented that people have replied to on their videos, and I have not answered. Inhaling my own saliva. Okay. So yeah. So I apologise for either not answering you back or being really late answering. I basically have taken so long that I have become overwhelmed. I'm like, oh no, there's just so many, and then it's been so much time that there are ones I will never get to now. So I apologise if I'm not great at replying, or if I just haven't. It's not even because I am too busy or I'm going through anything at the moment. I'm just really bad at that stuff. Yeah. So yeah, it's everything and anything really. So yeah. Question 3. What, in your opinion, so in my opinion, is one of the kindest booktubers out there? And I don't like this question. I think it can be very kind of leaving people out sort of thing. Every Christian booktuber has been really kind that I've interacted with, even if it's just comments. There are people I am closer with because I've had more interactions with them, or I've co-hosted with them and I'm in group chats with them. So obviously, you know, those people could be more the kindest people because I just know them a little bit better. But I think that because we're all Christians as well, so certainly the ones I interact with, everyone is really nice, really kind. You know, the sort of people you would expect to be a Christian, you know. Doesn't mean that there aren't people who give Christians a bad name, but in general, not specifically on booktube, just in life in general. So I kind of don't like that question. They're all really kind. Everyone's really kind. You know, I have people, lovely ladies in the group chats I'm part of. Like we have Lucy, we have Kelly and Kay and Jamie, Jamie the Canton Reader. I've got other group chats I'm part of that include like Christy and Reese from Writing Songbird and Paula, and there's some newer people who are part of that group chat, new to me. I think there's Christine, there's Emily, Paula is another one of the lovely ladies who are a part of that group chat, and you know, everyone else I've not mentioned. I mean, there's just so many really kind people. I mean, we have Teresa from Creatively Faithful, who is really nice. We've buddy read together, we've done Bible studies together, as well as just all the other ladies that I've, you know, buddy read with, like Anne from the Church of Wonder, Em from Em's Books Are Everywhere. I mean, they're all just really kind. And so I think everyone that is the kindest booktuber. Question 4 is, what is a book that reminds you to be more kind? And there's all sorts of books, because most books have that sort of, at least most of the books I read, not all of them, but most of them have that sort of theme or plot line that includes that sort of thing, especially ones that have, you know, not great people and nicer people, stuff like that, you know, enemies, like fantasy, stuff like that. So there's all sorts of books that can do that for me. I mean, the main one for the non-fiction version, and I think all of us Christian booktubers will know and probably say the same thing, and that is the Bible. Obviously, that's the main one for teaching you how to be kind, and as well as obviously lots of other things. But yes, in terms of a fiction book, it's quite hard to pick, but I did find one. Well, technically 2. I can't remember the name of the second one of the books, but they're books 2 and 3 in the Nevermore middle grade series by Jessica Townsend. Books 2 and 3. Book 2, I don't remember the title of. I've forgotten it now. Book 3, I've literally just read, and that's Hollow Pot's The Hunt for Morrigan Crow. Both of those have definitely had those themes of kindness, especially with people who are maybe a little bit different, or just, standing up for people who are being bullied, that type of thing, or just being unkind to them. So things like that. And yeah, so I definitely would say those, but there'll be loads more that not only have I actually read, but I just can't remember. There'll be others I've not read, obviously. But they're the 2 that I can think of in terms of fiction. Obviously non-fiction, it will always be the Bible. There'll never be anything. Okay, there might be others, but the chief one is the Bible. But I don't think anyone watching my videos is going to disagree, because I'm pretty sure you're all Christian, at least the ones who comment. So, yeah. So let's see what the next one is. The next question is, can you think of a fiction book of any genre that focuses on themes of kindness? And honestly, this was really, really hard. I haven't really read books that specifically focus on kindness. There were lots of books I've read that, like I said, with like the Nevermore books, there were definitely books I've read that have bits of that in it, but they're not focused on that. Like, that's not the point of the story necessarily. So I actually found that really hard, but I did find one that I think is close enough, because it's a theme that has, it's a YA, so, and it's set in a sort of school-ish environment, so you do get that whole bullying thing and not knowing people, and people having kind of like a wall up, so, and depending on that person, they might not act very good, or they might be especially kind because of their experiences. It can go either way. So this book probably shows that the most that I can think of. There'll be others, but that I've read. But this is the one that came to my mind the quickest. There are definitely others, but yes. Although saying that, I wouldn't necessarily say it's the main theme, but it's a pretty big theme. Just because of, well, the environment and bullies and stuff like that. So, and you probably can guess what it is from me saying things like that. And I picked Ariadne and the Legends of the Fire Rose by Christy A. Cole. I definitely think this definitely has some themes of that, because there is a bully in this, and like with anyone, there's usually reasons why someone's a bully or is not very nice, and you just definitely have that whole, forgiveness and a theme of kindness in this book because of things like that, and probably other things too. So this is the nearest I could think of. I wouldn't say this book is specifically about that necessarily, but there is that theme and that plot line sort of in that. Well, it's not really a plot line, but that theme is in there. So I think this is the one I can think of. There are probably others that I own, but I just can't. I've never really specifically read books that are specifically about that, at least not knowingly. So that's the nearest I can really do. How do you think you could make BookTube a kinder place? I don't know. Probably keeping on trying to do what I'm doing, trying to be nice to people on their videos, even if there's nothing I can specifically think of. I usually would say, that I enjoyed it and it's a great video, stuff like that. And obviously kind of practicing what I preach, sort of thing, trying not to be judgmental in my own videos as well, maybe, and being more kind about things. I mean, I talk about books, so it's not like I'm talking about real people, if you know what I mean. So I'm not sure how I can make it a kind of place when I'm just talking about books, if you know what I mean. Because if there's bad characters or bad guys and stuff, even if there's a redemption, I mean, then again, I wouldn't want to necessarily say that because it could be spoilery, but they're not real. And obviously it's certainly a part of practicing what you preach, being aware when you talk about the characters that there are real people who are very similar to these not very nice people in books. So having that sort of biblical approach to these characters. You know, if they were real, you know, you wouldn't want to kind of shut it all off and just go, this person is a, you know, unfixable, unrepentable, they'll never change sort of thing. It might happen, they might be like that, but I mean, it's having that mindset of, well, as long as someone's still alive, there's always a chance to, you know, change their mind, become a better person, preferably find Christ, obviously, as a Christian, and, you know, being repentant and stuff like that. So I guess maybe having that mindset when talking about themes that might have characters like that or storylines like that. That's all I can really think of. I don't really, it's not like I do like a news channel where I'm talking about different things, you know, where, you know, maybe someone murdered someone and I'm talking about it, for example, you know, like, and just, it's not like I'm doing stuff like that where I need to be aware that, you know, and pray about these people and try, you know, that they repent for what they've done, even if they don't believe in Christ, you know, as in like become believers, you know, at the very least, you know, that they repent, stuff like that. Right, I'm just going to finish up then. So yeah, that's, yeah, try my best, I guess, is probably the simple answer. So the next question is, say some kind words about one of your favourite booktube channels. I mean, there's loads that are my favourites. Let me think. One of my favourite booktube. I mean, everyone I follow are definitely a favourite. That's why I watch their videos. I enjoy them for the person and also their content. I'm trying to think, who would I like to shout out? Maybe Sami from Sami Reads. I'm going to be shouting her out anyway. And maybe not. Maybe let's try someone else actually, who I'm not already going to shout out. I'm trying to think. Maybe, you see, I can never decide. There's too many of us. I'm going to say, who do I want to talk about? Maybe, there's just so many of them. How can I pick someone that I want to be kind to? I mean, there's loads of people. I mean, obviously there's Lucy who tagged me in this. I mean, you know, I mean, she's just lovely and outgoing and bubbly, you know, and she always, you know, has a heart of Christ from what I can see, you know, especially with her sprints that she does. She always wants that kind of like her main outreach type of thing, and, you know, that's always just beautiful to see. I mean, there's also, I can't think, Kay from Kay's Library. I mean, I always love her videos. She's always just, I mean, everyone's really nice. I mean, I could say this about anyone and it would all be the same words. You know, I mean, everyone's just always so kind. Everyone's always friendly. So Kay is one of those people as well. And, you know, and then there are people who, you know, have given me gifts, which is a little bit on the selfisher side, but I love them anyway. You know, like Teresa, she was the one who gave me one of my Bibles. And, you know, she's always just really kind, and she, you know, you can see she has a love for God and for being in the Word and study. And, you know, there's like, there's so many people. I mean, there's Christy, who's always so bubbly and lovely, Christy A. Cole. And then you have, you know, all sorts. I mean, there's loads of people. I mean, I can't really just pick one, and most of the words I would use are the same ones I use for all of them, as you have noticed. So, especially because I don't necessarily know everyone very well, so I can't always necessarily be very specific. But, you know, I mean, everyone in my Tinsel and Tales group chat that Lucy did for 2025, everyone in that group chat are just lovely, like Whitney, and even though she wasn't really involved in the end, she was still a part of the group chat for a while. And even just in general, Whitney is just lovely. I love her honesty about, you know, trying to not read spicy books, and, you know, her a little bit with her journey on that. I think, I can't remember now, but, you know, I just really like her videos, and she's just always so lovely. And just everyone, I just can't, just I love you all. Okay, just blanket statement. You're all lovely. And then the next question is, share a new small booktube channel. And I don't really keep up with new channels. I can just about keep up with the people I'm actually following. It's not always easy. But yeah, so I have picked two because they are both smaller channels. I don't know how new they are, but yeah, smaller channels. They're both less than 500, at least for now, subscribers. So we have Sami from Sami Reads. I love her channel. She's not, I don't know how new she is in terms of uploading. And she's not massively new to me, but she's one of the newer channels that I'm following. And then there's Teresa from Sweet Tea Reads. Again, she's not that new to me, and I think she's been uploading for quite a long time. But she's less than 500 subscribers, so I want to shout her out because I know she was saying she'd love to reach 500. I think she's very close. And they both read different things. Teresa from Sweet Tea reads a mixture of secular and Christian fiction. And probably non-fiction as well, but I think it's mostly fiction. And then Sami reads a few different genres, and I think usually they're Christian, but some might just be clean, usually anyway. So yeah, they're all lovely. Yeah, so I want to shout them two out. And then the last one is to tag some friends to spread some kindness. So I'm going to tag the women that I've mentioned, Sami and Teresa from Sweet Tea Reads. I want to tag Teresa from Creatively Faithful because she's been very kind. I really like her. I want to shout out, tag Anne from In Search of Wonder. I mean, there's so many people I could tag. I mean, how many have I tagged there? I've tagged 4 people. I'll stick to those 4, but I'm going to open it up to everyone because I think we should spread kindness no matter who we tag in this. So if you want to spread some kindness, talk about the people you like as well as answering these questions, I would love that. I think that would be amazing. Thank you again, Lucy, for tagging me in this tag. And yes, I'm going to leave you to it because my food is ready, so I'm going to go and eat. So thank you so much for watching. Jesus loves you, and so do I. And I hope you all have a lovely rest of your week. Whenever you're reading this, and no matter what time. So yes, I'll see you all next week. Bye.